So what we're looking at is our shortest path going from one point to the other. So we're going to start with a really small network. And I'm going to show you the systematic working which you need to show. Okay? So if we start with something which just has 4 nodes. Try and put big circles here because this will be easier for us. Alright, so imagine we're going to be trying to go from the shortest path. For all of these, we're going to go shortest path from A to Z. And it has these numbers there. So, what I mean by systematic working is you guys should be able to pretty quickly right now tell me what the shortest path is. What would the shortest path be? Luke? A, C, Z. Okay? That's the shortest path. But we need to be able to check each one as we go, especially when these networks get bigger. And so the first thing we do is we go, what's the shortest path to get from A to B? So we're starting A. What's the shortest path just to get to B? 3. And so what we do is we write 3 inside and we circle that 3 because we use the 3 to get to B. Yeah. No, because we're using it. What about A to C? And so we do this from like left to right or from wherever the first point is to get to the next one. Okay. So what about A to C? What's the quickest way to get from A to C? 5. And did we use it to get there? Yes, for now. All right. And so the numbers inside those nodes, that's your systematic working. If you want full marks in a test question, you need to show these numbers. All right? Now we look at what's the quickest way to get from A to Z. We could go 3 plus 4, and what would that be? 7, yes. Or we could go A, C, Z, and what would our answer be there? 6. So which one's the shortest one? A, C, Z. And so what we do is we put in 6 and we circle the path we took. What do you think we should do for the path we didn't take? Cross it out, okay? Get rid of it. We didn't take that pathway, so we don't want to have it there. It just makes our pathway longer. And so from here I can look at my end point and go, okay, what pathway did I use to get to my end point? I went from C back to A, and you can see that by where the circles are. I know there's a circle here, but what happens? This one gets crossed out, so it doesn't matter. Okay? And so your answer would then be A, C, Z, 6, and that's your answer. Can everyone see that? No, because you did use it to get to B. That's the shortest path to get to B. It just happens that we're looking at the shortest path to get to Z. I want you to get in the good habit of leaving it a circle. Okay? All right, let's try one step harder. But this is pretty much it. That's all you do. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Can you write this down, please? Not usually. You'd usually just have to draw like a minimum spanning tree, but not one of these. Alright. Are there any, tell me if there's any numbers missing or letters missing. Pardon? G. That one's going to be Z. Because we're going to go A to Z for all of them. Good point though. Now, I'd always try and do your systematic working in pencil. Alright, so I don't want you, especially when we get to these bigger networks, and really in a test it's going to be this size or bigger. I don't want you to just try and go through it and go, oh, it's going to be this pathway. I want you to go systematically. What's the shortest path to B? What's the shortest path to C? What's the shortest path to each of them? And then you will guarantee yourself that you'll get the right answer here. Okay? So let's have a look at this. What's the are you guys ready? Sorry. Ready? Yes? Everybody's ready? Fantastic. All right. So what's the shortest path to get to B? 2. Okay. And so we put in 2 in the circle there. Sorry, I'll do it in red. Put in 2 there. Circle the 2. What's the quickest way to get to C? 4. We put in a 4. Circle it. What's the quickest way to get to D? 3. Okay, 4 plus 3 is 7. You're right to start with, yeah? So we're going to cross out that 8. We didn't use that pathway. Okay. Then we're going to look at this. What's the quickest way to get to E? 7 plus 4 or 4 plus 1? 4 plus 1, so we've got 5. Circle the 1 because that's the pathway we took. What else do I need to do? Cross out the 4. We're not using that pathway. All right, F. 4 plus 9 or 5 plus 7? 5 plus 7. Circle the 7. Cross out the 9. All right, then we need to go up to G because we always want to do our last pathway last. Okay, so we got to G. So we've got, what would be the quickest way to get to G? 12 plus 2, which is 14. All right. So then we need to look at this. 14 plus 5, 12 plus 3, or 14 plus 5. Which one's the shortest? 12 plus 3. 15 is our shortest path. And then we cross out. All right. Now, when this happens, it's a bit hard sometimes at the end, when you've got lots of different nodes happening, to actually remember which pathway you took. How do you think I can work out which pathway I took with all these circles? Because there's circles up here we didn't use, there's circles everywhere, there's a circle here we didn't use. How can I tell? Yogi?
The one that's not crossed out.
Good, the one that's not crossed out when I start at the end. Okay, because if I start at the here, there's 2 things circled, so it could be either way. If I start at the end, how many are circled? Just this one. So I go, okay, I start at Z, that connected to F. Now, what's connected to F? E. Now, what's connected to E? C. Well, what's connected to A? Sorry, what's connected to C? A. Good. And we know our pathway. And that's our answer. Pardon? You can highlight it, but you are expected to write out the pathway as your final answer. But if you are highlighting, remember, highlight from the end back to the start. And that'll help you get there. Are there any questions? Do we need to do another one, or can you guys practice some yourselves? Practice yourselves. All right, your homework, which hopefully will get done in class, is in that booklet. It's at the front of the booklet because it's from a different book. These questions are not in your 2CD book because this is expected knowledge. Okay, so this is what you're expected to already know. However, we make sure we teach it to you. Okay, so front of book. It's in a. Can I just borrow your booklet for a second? So it's from the old foundations book, I think it is. Discrete, good. Okay, so there's 2 examples you can do. And then exercise 3A, so page 64. To there's a few. To 68. Questions 1 to 13. I know. 64 to 68. Questions 1 to, what did I say? 13. 1 to 13. Pardon? What does the question say? No. Okay, so you start wherever it says to start and you finish where it says to finish. Okay?